welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be doing a one brand tutorial using all Makeup Forever products. So I have already primed my face. This is the Makeup Forever HD Primer. It's just a very, I'll show you. It's like a white milky consistency. So after I laid that down, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is the original HD foundation, not the new version. But I have it in N123, which is too dark for me, I think, right now. So I'm going to mix it with the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops that I have, which I have in G30. So N123 is neutral. I'm going to add the G30, which is golden, so it's going to make it more yellow, and it'll be slightly lighter. Now I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in medium. You can tell my under eyes pretty discolored. So once I do medium, which I think has kind of a peachy undertone on me, I'm going to go on top of it with just a little bit of lighter concealer. I'm just using the pointed end of my Beauty Blender to press that in. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer in light, and you can see that there's a color difference. The medium is much darker. Now I'm using the Makeup Forever HD powder, and this is the Micro Finishing Powder. It's a loose powder. And I think it was Jaclyn Hill that said that you want to press your powder into your skin. A damp beauty blender is best, but you want to do it under your eyes. You want to do it in different angles so that the powder doesn't settle in any one way. So like if you're always pressing like this, you should try to like press it like diagonally and like different angles to try to get it to like sink in as best as possible. So I'm going to leave a little excess powder, and come back to that. Okay, I had paused the camera and I did fill in my brows and prime my eyes. For brows, I actually used the e.l.f. Instant Brow Pencil in medium brown. So this thing I think is $3, but I like it. So it has a spoolie on one end and the pencil on the other, so that worked out pretty well. And I primed my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot. Just figured you didn't need to watch that. So we are going to be doing a red lip today. I'm wearing a solid black dress, and Ben got me these earrings and necklace for Valentine's Day, and they are red. So I wanted to do a red lip since I'm wearing a black over thing, a black solid dress, and black shoes with dark hair. Like I figured I could go ahead and do a red lip and just kind of, it's a focal point, it pulls in the red. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to be using a Makeup Forever Aqua Lips liner in 8C. You see me using cloths in my videos, it's usually this. This is the Always Off makeup cloth from Walmart. And I get a 3-pack of these. It's around $5. And you can put them in the washer. They're just like the magic erasers or whatever that you get at Sephora. I think these may have even been out first. Who knows? But I just throw them in the washer. The tip that I learned is that you should, if you want to accentuate your Cupid's bow or do a really good job lining there if you have problems, to draw an X. So I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what I'm talking about. So I lined the top here. And then I went down from this side towards the opposite direction. So I did and that gives you the perfect Cupid's bow every time. I don't know if it's really a thing, but has been working for me. I don't remember where I heard it from. So I lined my lips and filled them in using the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Intense. This is number 43. Okay, time to brush away this powder here. This is just the e.l.f. Small tapered brush. Alright, I don't have any Makeup Forever contour products per se, so I'm going to try Makeup Forever eyeshadow as a contour product. Wish me luck. So this is a Sephora palette, and the little white dots are actually little stickers that I created because these have impossible to remember names. So like, you know, M-E whatever, they just have numbers. The names I have here are from the Sephora website when I bought them, like Frosted Mauve and whatever. So I'm going to be using Milk Tea M536. The M stands for matte. And I'm going to try that as a contour shade. I think it's going to be like almost my skin shade. Almost my skin shade, so it may be too light. Using this IT Cosmetics Define and Highlight brush. I'm going to use the Define side. And we're just going to try it. It's a little light, but it'll work. So just at the sides of my nose, that's going to help thin it out a little. Same brush right underneath the chin. And I'm following it back behind the ear. And then I'm just doing swirling motions to blend it in. I have this line, you want to blend upwards. Blending downwards is going to give you the beard. It's going to make you look like you have a 5 o'clock shadow. So you really want this line here to be crisp and blend upwards into your blush and leave this little bitty strip right here bare. And that's what gives you the hardcore cheekbone look. And if you feel like, oops, you know, I did it too far down, all you have to do is take like your Beauty Blender, your foundation sponge, and you can just like, you know, clean up that line. You can even go back in with some loose powder and bake it afterwards if you accidentally take it too low. Alright, now I'm using the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo. This is going to be my bronzer and my highlighter. I have it in number 1, which is like the more pinky version. I thought that the bronzy, the orangey version was just too orange. So if you notice, I didn't contour my hairline. I just am going to use bronzer there. I don't have a very large forehead, and I was watching a video that Wayne Goss did. If you don't watch Wayne Goss on YouTube, he has like, I don't know, like 5 million subscribers. It's crazy. Makeup artist. He makes his own brushes and probably other products. I'm not real up on him, but he gives some great makeup tips. You should definitely follow him. I think that some of his stuff is kind of annoying, and I don't watch it, like drama and stuff, but I do really value his professional makeup opinion. Anyway, he was talking about the 3-finger rule, or the 2-finger rule by the nose, I think it is, where you shouldn't have any blush within a couple fingers of your nose. So like your blush should be out here, not all the way in. And then like the 3-finger rule on your brows, and how if you have 3 fingers or more, you can contour your forehead and bronze your forehead. But if you have like a short forehead, like if you're only have 2 fingers worth above your brows, then you shouldn't. And he talked about like where your brows should end based on fingers and diagonals, and how this rule with the angle doesn't work if your nose is really wide. And you know, he gives really good tips like that because he does makeup on other people. He really gets it. And I turned my fan on in here, so if my hair's flying everywhere, that's why. Alright, this is a little tiny sample pod. It's Makeup Forever HD Blush, and this is in the shade 410. It's like an apricot-y, peachy coral shade. And I'm not going to use much, but this is a no-name brand duo fiber brush. I just want a light dusting of this. So I just got the ends of the brush a little bit pink. I don't know if you can even tell. Just a little. And I'm going to go right on the apples of the cheeks there. And I really have to work this in. You can tell that's really bright. So taking a little bit on each cheek. I'm really swirling it where I want it to be the heaviest. And blending it into the contour. Then you can take your brush and like sweep it off on your hand, or you can use your Always Off makeup cloth and get your brush pretty clean. And as you can see, my brush didn't have much on it because nothing's coming off on my cloth, but once you have it pretty clean, you can really swirl it in there. And it's basically pushing it into the skin. I don't want my makeup to look like it's sitting on top of my skin. I want it to look like it's sunk in. Okay. Going back in, now I'm going back into the Pro Sculpting Duo. I'm going to use the highlighter shade. And I'm actually just using the brush, the It Cosmetics brush again, but I'm going to use the fluffy side. And this is a highlighter brush, which I like. So I'm only going to do about a 2-inch strip right here. This is all I'm doing for highlighter. You don't want to take it in too far because that's where most people tend to have a lot of like pores and it's visible and it looks really bad. So kind of want to stay right at the outer eye or maybe even middle of your eye, depending on the shape of your face, to the tail of your brow. You don't need much. And that'll give you the most effect. And you want to do it in an angle, you know, upwards toward, as if you were trying to go kind of towards the tail of your brow, and you can kind of curve it in a C shape. And that's it. Like, you don't need much highlighter. And I find that gives me the most natural effect. And sometimes I'll pinch the brush. And that just gives you like a nice subtle glow. You don't look like an Instagram queen. In real life, that isn't always the most flattering thing. Because highlight, you know, it's highlighting things. So if you have pores and imperfect skin like I do, like I didn't want to put highlight on that thing. It's like, no way. So I kept it from here, so that you don't get highlighter right on the area that you don't want to highlight. And then I'm just taking my finger and I'm going to put a dot right on the tip of the nose, kind of blend it out with my finger. And that really gives you that like cute little button nose. And then I'm taking a dot right on the Cupid's bow. So that's what I'm going to be working with. I will tell you the names of the shadows or the numbers of the shadows, but I want to keep the eyes pretty neutral. I'm just going to do, you know, my lashes really strong. So I'm going to use that Milk Tea, the one we used as the contour shade, as my transition shade. This is the Jessup Tapered Blending Brush. It's just a nice crease brush, kind of blending brush. So I think Milk Tea is going to be perfect for that contour area. I'm going to go in with M660 Speculous and M726 Sienna. Right here. And those are slightly more orangey. So I'm going to just use a little. Now I'm going in with M510 Vanilla and a little bit of M126 Chalk. M510 Vanilla and M126 Chalk. And these are going to be my brow bone and my inner corner shade. So I'm switching to a smaller brush. Like I said, I don't believe in rules. I think you can do any brush, but as long as it's small enough to get in there. This one is the Jessup Short Shader Brush. It's like a really short, stubby, small brush. And I'm mixing the two shades because I feel like on one, the vanilla doesn't show up that much, and the chalk is like super white. So mixing the two, I get a really pretty look. If your brows are out of control, like if you haven't plucked in a while, like I haven't, you may want to stay away from shimmery brow bone shades, you know. I use shimmery shades all the time, but some people prefer matte always. But I don't, but I try not to do shimmery when my brows are in bad shape. This is the e.l.f. Eyeshadow C brush. It is just a nice flat stubby brush. I'm going to use the shade ME512. ME512 is like a golden beige, but it's very, ME stands for metallic. So I'm just going to use that right on the center of the lid and the inner part of the lid. This is a Makeup Forever Artist Liner in M10, which is basically just a black automatic eyeliner. And then I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Smoky Extravagant Mascara. So I'm going to keep the line pretty thin because the thicker you do the line, the smaller your lashes look. Unless you're going to wear falsies, I recommend keeping the line somewhat natural, thinner towards the lash line. But if you're gonna do falsies, the thicker the better sometimes, because that helps hide the lash band. So I'll be right back. I left the lower lash line bare. I just did a little bit of mascara there and left it alone. So if you need any powder, this would be the time to do it. And of course some setting spray. But this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.